Hello and welcome to the Eat, Move, Win podcast and the musings of a bullshit queenager. And that is me. In case you've forgotten, I'm the bullshit queenager. And today we have someone who's not quite in the queenager sphere because she's much more youthful than I am. But when she does get there, she can be a queenager. She's honorary status just now because she's still young. So we have the beautiful Sam Hill, who is known as the membership expert, but that's not all she is. We have lots and lots of stuff to talk about today. So, lovely Sam.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. What I would love for you to do is just tell us a little bit about you.
About me.
Do. And so, after watching, sorry, I'll do a lot of this. I just interrupt you. What's your dog called? I can see a dog.
Benji. So I have a black Labrador called Benji.
Oh, right.
And every time I start talking, he'll come over, so you'll see him.
Love it.
So I am a membership expert. I've been doing it for about 3 years. So I help business owners launch, grow, and retain memberships. And that's me.
She's quite bossy. She is quite bossy. She is. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a backstory about Sam. So I have known Sam for maybe just under a year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Sam popped up as I can't remember. She was doing a guest training in a business group that I was in. And I was like, oh, she seems quite fun. Like, give her a wee follow. And I was like, what's a membership? Like, I had no clue what a membership was, never had one. I've heard people talking about them before, and I was like, they seem like really hard work. Oh, so anyway, she created her own membership, which was quite funny because she's like tongue in cheek going, yeah, I'm a membership expert and I don't actually have a membership. So she created a membership. So I joined it. She had a special offer on. I liked her. I was like, oh, she's going to be quite fun to hang out with. I'm quite curious about this stuff. Signed up. Within a month, I had a membership. But do you know how I got a membership? Because I am like most people, I like being told what to do, right? And we were on one of your group calls and she was like, have you got a membership? And I was like, no, why not? Not really.
Maybe I'm a bit bossy.
Not really thought about it. She's like, go and create a membership. Go and do it right now. And I'm like,
the best thing you did though, right, Emma?
Yeah, it's one of the best things that I did. I love my membership. So if you're in my membership, it's called the Smart Girls Gathering. And Sam is in the membership too. But yeah, anyway, so Sam is bossy and she gets people to do things. So fairly good. So tell me, how did becoming the membership expert, how did that come about?
So I, as you said, have never had a job.
Never had a job, Sam.
Never had a job. So I've always run my own businesses, and I run a knitwear business for 11 years. And I sold that in 2019. And then I was given an opportunity to be a community manager for somebody because they thought I'd been good at it because I'm good at talking to people.
That's very true, you are.
And I started doing that and just loved it really, and it just grew like crazy quickly from there. So I've been working as a membership manager now for 3.5 years, I think now.
Oh
yeah, so it's been a bit of a crazy few years getting that.
That's absolutely nuts. So right, this is quite a big one. So Sam is the opposite of me in the fact that she is very creative, right? So she said she sold our knitwear business, but she does still have business in the creative world. So I think what's really interesting is how people can take their hobbies and things that they enjoy and actually turn them into a business, into something that's going to help them make an income. So tell us how can someone take a hobby and turn it into money?
So essentially, if you can do something that someone else can't do, you can make money off it. That's what someone said to me once. So like, for example, my knitting, like I can teach people to knit. People will pay for that. So you just have to think about what knowledge you've got, and then you can turn it into a business. So for me, I've already done the knitwear side of things. I had a business in that for 11 years, as I said, but now I am doing more textile, like print things. So I am starting to turn that into a business and sell that through art. So essentially, like any hobby, anything, you can turn anything into a business as long as you love it.
That's amazing. Like, I'm just trying to think of hobbies that I have.
What's your hobby, Emma?
I don't have any. Right. Well, actually, I know I do. And this is something that I was thinking about. I was like that. How do I turn, like, I've got a caravan, love going away for our wee short trips, love the outdoors, love all that kind of like hill walking and whatnot. And I was like, is there anybody out there that needs my knowledge about caravans? I was like, actually, there probably is.
There definitely is.
Like, actually, it is. And
because
then
everything you know will be more than somebody that's never had a caravan.
yeah, but then the whole where I am now is a result of my hobby that I was really, really into fitness, and then I did all my retraining around nutrition, and I turned that into a business. And about I was who was I talking to the other day? I can't remember. And they were I was like, said about me time and how my me time was the gym, but I don't see that as a hobby. I just see that as a fundamental part of just me and who I am and how I do things. So I was like, that maybe I do need another actual
you need another hobby.
Well, I started learning to play the keyboard. When I say I started learning, I'm still starting learning because I've discovered that my fingers are very short and they don't seem to go to the place on the keyboard that they need to, like, get actual stumpy hands. Look at that. If you're not watching this, like, I have got really short fingers. So yeah, if you've got a hobby, think about, do you want to create extra income? Can you create extra income with a hobby that you've got? And I know loads of people that have turned hobbies around, like dog walking or just being around animals and stuff.
I know someone that's got a membership for piano, keyboard. They can teach you how to play.
And they grow these tiny little claws into lovely talons.
I bet they can.
What is that magical potion in Harry Potter where it changes their bones? I can't remember. I need some of that.
No.
Right. So here's a big question, right? One of the things I see quite a lot in my audience is I work with a lot of women in their late 30s and to their 50s. One of the big challenges they have is confidence and being able to go, yeah, I can do this and I want to do this and I'm going to do whatever I can to make this. So you've been on a bit of journey as well with confidence.
Yeah.
What would be your biggest advice? How did you overcome?
I think with confidence, it's been a bit of a roller coaster of confidence.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I think the one thing you need to do is surround yourself with good people. Ooh. Like, that's what's really helped me, having good people around me that I trust, that I can talk to, and actually working on yourself. Like, and I am still in this process now, as Emma said, like, I am in her membership for one of those reasons. It's an ongoing process, but I think you really need to dig deep if it's a confidence issue. Like, you can't ignore it because it will get in the way of everything. And I ignored it for ages, and I didn't even realize that I had a confidence issue for a while until my business started going downhill. And I realized that I was hiding, right? So I wasn't, and we own online businesses, so if we hide, nobody sees us. And it was a massive problem. Like, I was just not showing up anywhere, I wasn't speaking to anybody, and that made my business go downhill too, as well as everything else around me. Which, so to get out of that hole, it was kind of, I had to, I know it's corny, but like, dig deep and really have a word with myself about, what I want to do and how I want to show up. And the people that had knocked my confidence, they weren't paying my bills or feeding my kids or, you know, so you have to really drag yourself out of it. Journaling has helped me, and the creative side of things as well. Like, I find being creative and doing creative things helps my confidence a lot. So, but yeah, people, having good people.
It's so important, because we attract ourselves basically. And if we're feeling in a place where, you know, I can't do that, or that's not for people like me, you're going to be surrounded by people that also think that, which is not conducive to, if you've got this. Like, I found that most women have a kind of little niggle deep inside that's telling them they can do more, or they can be better, or they can be healthy, or whatever it is. And it's sometimes embedded really deep inside. And just being around 1, 2, 3 people that can grasp onto that and kind of coax it, you know, like, coax it right out, and then it's like, oof, it's like a big rolling stone, isn't it? Like,
yeah, definitely. And I'm not particularly woo, but I do think if you're in a bad mindset and you're not confident, you'll miss opportunities. Like, because you're not looking for them, you're not open to them. So as soon as I started working on my confidence and that went up, that I then started getting opportunities that I didn't think I'd get. And then that opens out more and more and more, and it's a knock-on effect, both personal and business life. It makes a difference in both.
It's so important. It's so hard to do though, isn't it? Like, it's like you've got to make the decision that you want something else, you know, and that can be really, because it's like your brain is telling you don't do anything different, because you're alive now and you're breathing and you're functioning. Doing something different is really risky.
It's scary.
And it doesn't know. So having made that decision and then having to follow through on it can be really, really tough. So where did you find, like, you're talking about the people, where did you find the people that helped you? Were they all online? Were they in-person people? Like, was that a knitting group?
Both for me. So one thing I have started doing recently is going to in-person networking. I didn't do that for ages, but actually it's really nice to speak to people that are local to you as well as online. But yeah, no, I searched out online groups. So I'm in your membership. I'm in a few other kind of big memberships where people are the same kind of level as me and in work. I joined Lisa Johnson's mastermind last year and did that.
That was a huge, like, joining a mastermind is a huge investment in yourself, isn't it? It's a huge, like,
yeah, but I think that gave me the confidence to go forward, because it was an investment in myself, right? And I think being around other people that were either further on in business or the same level as me really helped, because I was surrounded by positive vibes all the time. There wasn't anybody putting me down constantly, and I think that helps, being around that kind of positivity.
Have you got like any tactical tips? So not everybody, when you go on a journey of confidence and trying to get more confidence, you're not in that place all the time. Everybody has and you know, for a lot of people it actually can be quite hormonal, but you have these dips and you're like, oh my god, maybe I'm rubbish, maybe nobody loves me. Like, how do you handle those dips that come up?
I still have those now. I don't think they ever go away.
No, I don't think they do either.
One thing I do is I go out for a walk. I know that sounds really, but if I'm in
my ears,
I know that makes you happy, right? If I'm feeling rubbish and I've got to a block in the day where I'm like, I don't want to do anything anymore, I'll just go and take the dog out, because I think just being out in fresh air and a different surrounding helps. I also have a playlist on my Spotify. So I have music that, like, I know all the words to. I can sing really loudly, and like my kids tell me I'm awful at singing, but it makes me feel better, right? So it puts me in that better place. Sometimes I just take an hour off and go and draw, because that's what I love doing. So
it's so arty.
It's turning your brain off sometimes and giving you get more time to get ideas as well, if you give yourself a bit of space.
It's so important. Like, having that creative outlet is so important, regardless whether you're a inverted commas creative or not. Like, I am not a creative in any, like I've told you the story about my scarf that's been sitting about for 20 odd years. My, my nutty Christmas trees has holes in them that I delivered to the school and went,
you tried.
but one of the, like, when I feel relaxed and happy and confident, I get creative designing business things and new programs and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
And like that's where when you are in that place, that's where your energy flows to allow you the space to do the things that make you feel good. God, I just love how we're so different. Like if you put a pencil in my hand, it's like a kid with a crayon, like
I'm sure you're not that bad.
No, I'm terrible. I remember I've got all, like when I was younger, I loved, like most young girls, I loved horses. And somebody bought me this book of how to draw horses. It's a really thick book on how to draw horses. Right? But
I
like,
want to see these pictures now and then.
so I don't have the book, but I still remember, like, you draw a circle for the muzzle and a circle for the jaw and a circle for the shoulders and a circle for the rump. And then I always remember going, this is really boring. And it ended. Do you remember Thelwell? Like
No.
it was like a cartoon, a jokey cartoon of like pony club and horses, right? And one day I can do it just now, and it's just this comical horse. I just got really bored of trying to do it properly and just went, I'm just going to draw this comical horse with these stumpy legs. So yeah, that's
maybe you shouldn't do drawing.
No, I shouldn't do drawing at all. But I just think it's so, like, if you've got that part of you, so many people don't ever tap into it. Like, do you see that in your friends and your peers, like people who actively avoid their creative side? Oh my God, that's me. Oh my God.
Yeah, you. Yeah, you do. Yeah, I think because from a creative point of view, like a lot of people like yourself as well, as you've been speaking, have convinced themselves they're not creative, because as soon as you think of creative, you think of drawing or painting, when actually creativity can come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. Like for you, it's creating business courses. Like that is not creative to me. Like that's my worst nightmare. But that's your outlet for creativity, so that helps you. And I think a lot of the time when women aren't confident, we get so bogged down in all the negative stuff, and then we don't give ourselves any time, we don't give ourselves any space, and we just go around in circles. Whereas if you just build that into your day or your week and actually give yourself that opportunity to really find something that you love doing, that will help your confidence 100%. Like my creative part now is in my diary. Like it's on my Asana board, like do an hour of this. Like it's there, so I can't forget about it. And that's what's helped me continually show up and grow my confidence, because it's there, it's not negotiable. And I think that's where we all go wrong, right? Like a doctor's appointment isn't negotiable. So why should building your confidence be negotiable?
Absolutely. I'm the same with the health stuff. Like so many people, like the gym is not the way to get healthy. It can be a part of it, or exercise can be a part of it. But it's for as women, anything that we do for ourselves is always the first thing to drop off when life gets hard or busy or somebody else's needs suddenly take precedence. And it's so frustrating because like, this is you, it's your brain, it's your body, it's your energy, whatever it is more important than anybody else's, because if you don't have yours, then you can't help the people that need you.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's that, and I think part of the confidence journey is understanding that you are important. Like what you do has value in the wider picture, in the bigger picture. So make the time to do it.
And it's taken me a long time to realize that, and I still have to constantly remind myself all the time. But once you realize that, it does become easier to show up and to do stuff for yourself, and then that has a knock-on effect, because if you're in a good mood, like especially if you're a mum, like I've got 3 kids, like if I'm in a rubbish mood and I'm not confident, I don't want to take them anywhere. Like I don't want to take them swimming because I don't feel confident about myself, you know, like it's that kind of, whereas if you've got confidence, that shows, and then it like goes into your personal life and you can show up for them as well.
Well, we do a lot of work around body confidence, and most people will come to me and they say, I just don't feel comfortable in skin, and I'll feel confident when I've lost whatever arbitrary number it is. But actually, the true inner body confidence doesn't come from the body size or the body shape. It's how we view ourselves. That's where the confidence comes from. And it doesn't matter, like, if you're feeling unconfident about your business performance or your career or your relationship or your body, it's the inner work that needs to get done to then get the results, regardless of what it is. And that can be really, you know, we put things off. I'll launch that membership when I've got more clients, or I'll lose that 2 dress. I'll feel more confident when I've lost those 2 dress sizes. And it's the things that we do now that will help us on the journey rather than just waiting.
Definitely. I learned something recently. So somebody, a course that I've done recently as part of my creative outlet, she gave us like a tracker, and it was like, do one thing a day towards what you want to do. And that's where that's come from, like putting it on my Asana and making sure I do it, because it's just one thing a day, and it only has to take 5 minutes, and it's very satisfying ticking off the habit tracker.
We all love a list, don't we?
It's very satisfying ticking that off. But that applies to everything, right? Whether it's confidence, like you want to feel better or you want to look better or anything, it's just making that first step. And it's like with the membership, like all you had to do was make that first step and now you've got one. Like it's just that push sometimes that you need, I think.
Absolutely. And I think, like, we all say, oh, I don't need external validation. I don't need someone to tell me that I can do it. We do. Like, I absolutely see, if somebody shows or tells me that they've got faith in me or they've got every confidence that I can do something, that fires me up. Like, well, if you believe it, like, I trust you, I like you. And if you believe that I can do something, well, I'm going to show you that I can. And
that comes back, doesn't it, to what I was saying about surround yourself with good people, because they will validate you and make you believe that you can do it.
What is that phrase about you're the product of the top 5 people that you hang about with? And if you're if you hang about with people that are just slouching about, eating takeaways and like not doing any exercise and talking negatively, you'll become that. But if you hang out with people that are outside walking, doing cool things, being creative, you'll become that as well. God, yeah. Oh, we found out quite a lot about each other today. Right, so you find out you just need to give me praise and tell me that I can do things.
I'll just tell you that all the time. I'll message you daily.
Absolutely magic. So what's next for you? What's in the grand scheme of things for Sam?
Oh, good question. That is a very good question. I want to, well, personally, I need to get hold of my own health situation, which Emma
I know a girl, have I told you about her?
I know someone amazing. So that'll be a conversation we have after, because that's the next stage of my confidence, I think. In terms of business, I want to grow my own membership. And then my side hustle, I am growing that as well. So I'd like to get back into creating an art type business. But yeah, it's all exciting. It's really good. I want to do more podcasts, get out there more. Like that's part of my confidence growth as well. So yeah, it's going to be exciting rest of the year, I think. Got lots going on.
I know, I just like, in the little time that I have known you, you're just so much fun and there's so much going on and you've just always got so much to do. Like I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and then you still find the time to go out for cups of coffee and stuff like that. What the hell, man? Love it. I had a really good question that just popped into my head there. Right, if you could give, right, I'm going to create a person that's listening to this right now. Okay. So Jeannie loves to crochet. Like, Jeannie's 47, she loves to crochet. She's got a job that she doesn't particularly love. What does she do next?
I would start by video videoing her doing her crochet stitches for beginners so that she can start teaching people. Set up a Facebook group maybe, or an Instagram account, and start sharing what she's making so that she starts building that audience and getting people to follow her. And then she can turn it into a membership and teach people how to crochet. There you go.
That's actually really quite cool, because I would probably, that's a skill that I've never been taught. Like, I've been taught how to knit.
Yeah.
Never been taught how to crochet.
I think that the problem is,
Jeannie, if you're listening to this, do what Sam said, get in touch. I will buy your membership.
There you go. There you go, first customer. But I think the thing is with things like that, and it's with everything, not just crochet, people think, oh, no one's going to buy that off me, because there's loads of stuff out there, but they buy the person as well. Yeah. So it's people, we buy people, so that shouldn't stop you.
Absolutely. I think it's so cool, because I think people have this opinion that they are an entrepreneur or they're not. I just don't have that type of mindset, but it's not about making the most amount of money. It's about doing something that you're really passionate about, because if you don't love what you do, you're never going to be successful long term anyway. You might like make a wee bit of money, but you're never going to be successful long term, because you've just got to love it. You
need something that you want to get out of bed for every morning.
Yeah,
that makes you smile.
Well, there's nothing better, like nothing better than your clients or your audience saying that they've had a success because of something that you've taught them.
Exactly.
Again, it's that validation. Like, I've been doing this I've been qualified for nearly 6 years now. And when people go, oh my God, that worked, I'm like, yes, it worked. Like, even though I've got no doubt that it wouldn't.
Even though you know it's going to work.
Oh, it's totally hilarious, isn't it? Oh, I love it. Right. So we know what's coming up for you. Big things, big things. I'm going to be there with you on the journey anyway, so that's going to be fascinating. Right. Tell people where they can find you, because you're going to have about 20 different social media things.
They can find me on Instagram, Samantha J Hill, and I've got a free Facebook group called the Membership Lounge, so you can find me in there as well. They're probably the best two places. And
what if people want to know more about your art?
My art thing? That's a very good question. Let me go and have a look what it's called, because I don't got it as much. I should. I have an Instagram account called We Love Wool Club. You can find me over that. That's all about my knitting.
Did that side of things really pick up over COVID?
I actually sold my knitwear business before COVID. So because it was a bricks and mortar wool shop. So yeah, but I've, like, for other people, because I know a lot of people in the industry, it definitely did, because it gave people things to do, right, while they were locked down. So yeah, definitely. But for me, I've only just got back into it really probably in the last 8 months, because I found that hard as well, like leaving another business, like that knocked my confidence a bit, starting new. And it took me a while to get back into that, and as soon as I did, I missed it. I love it. So yeah, if you want to know that, but you can feel free to DM me and I will share my creations.
It's like an identity thing as well, isn't it? When you spend time and energy building something and then you don't have it anymore.
I had to find myself again, who I was. Yeah, because it was 11 years of like building. I was the wool lady for 11 years. And then all of a sudden I wasn't.
Stopping the wool lady.
I know, that's what everyone knew me as, right? So it took a long time to like get that away and start doing something else, and it was that confidence build that needed to happen.
So I think the key thing that I want to share about confidence with people is that you're never going to get to the end.
No,
you're never ever going to feel the most confident that you're ever going to feel, because it is, and it's not about that destination. It is like the finding yourself, the putting yourself out there, the doing things that you never thought you could do repeatedly.
Yeah,
and that's the journey. It's so exciting. I just love people going through that journey, because they're like, oh, I don't really feel any different. And then like they're like, oh well, I went on holiday and I skydived in these tiny bikini, and like you're like, you don't feel any different, really?
Yeah, like write down. Like I would encourage people to like write down what they've achieved as well if they're not feeling that confident, because you'd be amazed like how much we forget what we've done.
That's true. That's very true. All right, my lovely. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'll put all your gubbins in the notes.
Thank you very much.
I can't think of the word or the other word, the gubbins.
I know what you mean.
So people can seek you out. But thank you so much. I think your journey's been absolutely incredible. I just love chatting to you.
Thank you for having
me. Thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you again in the next episode.